So there's a season that no one posts about. And this is the week where nothing improves, the month where the storms don't break, and that stretch of time where you're doing the work and nothing looks any differently. No breakthroughs, no miracles, no dramatic shifts, just you still showing up. And this is the part that social media doesn't prepare you for. The gram and TikTok want you to believe that there's a version of life waiting in the future, clean, calm, problem free, if you just follow the right formula, if you just align enough, heal enough, manifest correctly. But conscious creation isn't about creating a life without storms. Babe, that's not possible. It's about learning to face them without leaving yourself. So, if you're new here, I'm Dustin Wheeler, and I teach conscious creation through structure, nervous system alignment, and true choice. I don't teach escape. I teach endurance with awareness, and I teach how to become the force inside the storm, not the victim of it. So, some of you are here right now. You're doing the journaling, the breath work, the mindset resets. You're showing up in your business, to your relationships, and still nothing is really changing. Revenue isn't moving. The relationship tension is still there. The health issue hasn't resolved, and the uncertainty hasn't lifted. And quietly, something inside of you is starting to whisper, maybe I'm doing this wrong. And let me just remind you that that whisper is the lie. The belief that growth should eliminate friction. The belief that if you're conscious enough, that life will just cooperate. That belief is what keeps people stuck because it makes you chase a fantasy version of peace outside of you instead of building peace and capacity within you. Babe, life is not a swimming pool. It's a fucking ocean. There are tides, there are undercurrents, there are storms that roll in without asking fucking permission. Conscious creation is not draining the ocean. It's learning how to keep swimming. And sometimes swimming looks like a sprint. Sometimes it looks like floating. And sometimes it looks like just keeping your face above water. But here's what's actually happening when nothing changes. Because when nothing changes externally, something is stabilizing internally. Plateaus are not punishment, they are integration phases. When you sprint, you expand. When you plateau, you solidify. And if you try and force expansion without integration, babe, you collapse. And I want you to know what the nervous system does in the stillness. Because when nothing changes, your nervous system gets uncomfortable. It wants movement. So what does it do? Well, you start overhauling your strategy. Maybe you pick a fight in your relationship. You sign up for another program, something else to learn, or you convince yourself that you need to pivot everything and start over. Not because you're broken, but because stillness feels like danger. And babe, this is the unsexy truth. This is the part that most coaches don't talk about. Real power doesn't live in a breakthrough. It lives in steadiness. It lives in consistency. Your real power comes from how you navigate storms without abandoning yourself in the process. And conscious creation, babe, isn't about controlling the weather. It's about becoming the fucking lighthouse. Because, babe, the storm still comes, but you don't move. So, what can you do when nothing is changing? Well, first, stabilize your baseline, connect to your true choice, and then sleep. Move your body, eat consistently. Stop trying to solve your life at 1 a.m. Two, narrow your focus. When you connect to your true choices, do one needle moving action per day. That's it. Not reinvention, not chaos. One needle moving action. And then 3, refuse self-abandonment. Stop the internal dialogue of I should be further. No identity collapse. No spiritual shame. Be present with yourself. Give yourself the grace to know that you're doing the best that you can under the circumstances. And trust. Now, here's the truth, babe, is that breakthrough seasons are loud. Integration seasons are quiet, but both are required. And nothing changing doesn't mean that nothing is happening. It means that something is rooting deeper. So if you feel tired of swimming, if you're questioning whether you've missed something, if you're wondering why this isn't easier yet, I see you. And if you're ready to stop chasing a fantasy life without friction and start building the nervous system capacity to navigate real life, come join us inside the Spiritually Kinky community for creators on Skool. Babe, we don't perform high vibe perfection there. We build creators who can handle both the sprint and the stillness. You don't need to be inspired. You need to be steady. And you don't have to do that alone. And remember, babe, you are not broken. You are the creative force within, and you get to choose what you would love to create. And storms do not disqualify you. Babe, they reveal your strength. So, whether you're here to be a little bit spiritual, or maybe you're here to be a little bit kinky, or you're here like me to be a whole lot of both, lead with love, my friends. And in case nobody told you today, I see you, I feel you, and I love you, and you are not alone. Mm-hmm.